Hello, Big Reds. This is Mr. Fish again. This is part two. All right, part two. So we're still going to use these same formulas, but we're going to do a few more different types of problems to get ready for this test, so you guys can all get A's, right? All right. Next type of problem we have right here. I'm going to draw a graph. Draw an XY coordinate plane. Sorry. And I'm just going to make up, let's say we have a little triangle here. I'm making a lot of triangles. Here's one triangle. This is why you use your rulers, ladies and gentlemen, because I was a little off on that one. All right, so let's say we made that triangle. And then later down here, we made another triangle. You can see these are congruent triangles, or they're supposed to be anyway. So what type of transformation is this? This is a translation. Because as you can see, I'm moving it straight down, so you should all know that this is a translation for the test. Very, very, very important, okay? All right, next one, we're going to make another graph. We're making a lot of graphs today, because there was a lot of graphing we did in this chapter, if you don't, or unit, if you remember. So we're going to make another graph here on the graph paper. And I'm going to start right here with, let's see, we'll try a rectangle here. And again, if you want to do this accurately, you want to use your ruler. It's a lot better. But I guess I'm not setting a good example by doing this. Let's call this D, E, F, and G. All right? And let's say it gets moved, okay? And it gets moved right here. So this becomes D prime, E prime, G prime, and F prime. So the question is, what type of transformation is this? Well, remember, always start with the pre-image. This is the pre-image, has no primes on it. We go from pre-image to image. So you have two ways you could do this. First of all, it is a rotation. That's first of all. Second thing, we got to figure out how many degrees it's going. Well, if I'm going counterclockwise, which would be this direction, it would be a 270 degree counterclockwise rotation because it's going 3 quadrants. Okay? Now, if I was to rotate it clockwise to the right, it would be a 90 degree clockwise rotation. So you need to make sure you know both of those, counterclockwise and clockwise. All right? Okay, I'll give you a few more examples of different shapes here. If I had something that looked like this, and you did some of these most recently, right? Let's call this D, E, F, and this is D prime, E prime, and F prime. Let's zoom up a little bit better so you can see more, all right? So you can see right here, we need to know what type of transformation this is. Well, it didn't really move, slide, it didn't flip over, it didn't turn, so it's got to be a dilation. Specifically, it's actually going to be getting bigger because D is going to D prime, E to E prime, and F to F prime, so it's in enlargement. So it's a dilation that's also an enlargement. All right, let's try a couple more of these. Let's do some rough sketches here. So we don't have to use the graph paper, just use a blank sheet of paper, okay? So if I had a graph, and I'm just doing this really rough-handed here. Let's say I had I started off with an image that was like this. Okay, and I went from here to here. What's that called? Well, it's a reflection over, what axis is this? This is the x-axis. So it's a reflection over the x-axis. Very good. All right, let's try another one. Again, these are just rough sketches, so you don't have to be perfect. Let's try and make this dotted. Okay, how about this one? Well, this one is a reflection over the y-axis, right? This is flipping over the y-axis right here. All right, let's try something like this. Let's say I have an object. Let's start with a rectangle. And the rectangle is now up over here. What is this going to be? Well, to me it looks like a translation. Because I didn't flip it, I didn't do anything like that, I just slid it over. Alright, and then let's try one more of these. Let's say something like, oh, I don't know, like this. Going to something like this. Let's say this one is dashed over here. Even though I didn't really do a good job. And I went this direction. What's that going to be? Well, it's rotating and it's going 90 degrees counterclockwise rotation. Or you could say it's 270 degrees clockwise. Okay. Well, I'm going to stop right now before we do the next part.